Welcome to Military Comebacks. Today's story is the kind that sneaks up on you and refuses to let go. It's about the moment past and present slammed into each other, when one simple question uncovered a name most people thought belonged to a ghost. This isn't just another tale about jets and missions. It's about call signs, the ones spoken with quiet respect in ready rooms, about legends who fade into the dark, and what happens when one of those shadows finally answers back. Settle in, because this one stays with you. The briefing room at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar was overflowing with aviators. The air carried that familiar mix of burnt coffee, jet fuel soaked deep into old flight suits, and the tight, electric edge that always came before a major exercise. Colonel Marcus Reaper Davidson stood at the front. 28 years in uniform, 3 wars, more combat sorties than he bothered counting anymore. He was old guard, big on tradition, earned respect, and the unspoken bond between people who had trusted each other with their lives at 30,000 feet. It was a standard integration meeting, Navy and Marine pilots coming together for a joint strike scenario. Davidson had sat through more of these than he could remember. He knew the Marine crews, knew who trained them, knew the history behind most of the call signs in the room. Except one. Near the back sat a pilot he didn't recognize. Late 20s, maybe. Dark hair pulled tight into regulation, posture relaxed but alert. Her flight suit looked lived in, the kind of wear that came from hours in a cockpit, not time behind a desk. She hadn't spoken once, hadn't tried to stand out, but something about her set his instincts buzzing. He wrapped up the tactical outline and closed his folder. Before we break, call signs. By section. Marine F-35 Squadron, you're up. The ritual rolled out like always. Gunner. Crash. Hollywood. Maverick 2. Each name came with a story, some heroic, some embarrassing, all earned. Laughter, a little ribbing, the easy swagger of people comfortable in their tribe. Then it reached her. The room quieted. She stood, movements controlled, efficient, like someone used to tight spaces where wasted motion could cost you. Davidson watched closely. Call sign, he asked. She held his gaze. Just a flicker crossed her face, hesitation, or maybe the weight of memory. Phantom 7. The reaction wasn't laughter. It was shock. Voices overlapped, chairs scraped, someone muttered, "No way." Davidson's clipboard slipped from his hand and smacked the floor. "Say that again," he said, softer now. "Phantom 7, sir." That name hit like a blast wave. Every aviator who'd passed through Miramar in the last decade knew it. It was less a call sign and more a campfire story told in ready rooms and over late-night drinks. Phantom 7 wasn't supposed to be a person. It was a rumor wrapped in secrecy. The legend said that during the worst of the fight against ISIS, when rules of engagement felt written in blood, there had been a pilot flying missions that didn't officially exist. No confirmed identity. No clear unit. After-action reports with the call sign would appear, then vanish behind layers of classification. Strikes that crippled networks overnight. Targets no one else could touch. Deep, solo night runs into territory where help couldn't reach in time. 17 confirmed missions behind enemy lines. No aircraft lost. No friendly casualties on operations supported. Then the name disappeared. Most assumed Phantom 7 had died somewhere no one could talk about. Davidson found his voice. That's not possible. Phantom 7 was. Flying in Syria 7 years ago, she finished quietly. 17 missions. All real. All classified. All necessary. The room went still. I was 22, she said. Fresh out of advanced training. They didn't pick me just because I was good. I was young. No family. No one who'd make noise if I didn't come back. Politically, expendable. The word hung heavy. They gave me a stripped-down F-35, tuned for stealth, loaded with precision weapons. Targets drones couldn't hit. Decisions machines couldn't make. Rules so tight one wrong move could start something bigger than any of us. Her hands tightened at her sides. They promised me this, succeed, and I'd be a hero no one could name. Fail, and I'd be an error that never happened. Someone asked about the missions. Like flying straight into hell, she said. No support. No backup. I marked targets for special operations raids. Took out weapons caches hours before they'd be used. Command nodes. Supply lines. She swallowed. Once I hit a building where 15 high-value ISIS leaders were meeting. Intel said no civilians. Intel was wrong. 3 kids were in the basement. I watched the structure fall through my targeting pod. Heard the confirmation. And I knew. No one moved. They debriefed me for 6 days. Said the strike saved hundreds. Said the intel failure wasn't on me. Maybe that's true. But those 3 kids. They ride with me every flight. After 17 missions, she asked out. Phantom 7 was buried in files most people think are fiction. She spent years in training squadrons, trying to remember how to fly without ghosts in the cockpit. Then I realized hiding didn't honor them, she said, looking straight at Davidson. The only way to carry it is to use what I learned to protect more lives. To make the next mission cleaner. Smarter. Davidson stepped forward and came to attention. He saluted her, slow and deliberate. Captain, he said, voice rough, it's an honor to fly with you. She returned it. Around the room, every aviator stood and did the same. Not because they had to. Because they understood. Later, as the sun bled orange across the flight line, Davidson found her alone, watching the sky. The stories didn't do you justice, he said. She shook her head. Stories only keep the parts people can handle. You're still here, he said. Because someone has to be, she answered. And because those kids deserve a world where we don't keep making the same choices. Phantom 7 wasn't back as a myth. She was back as a promise that the cost she carried might help build something better. If this one moved you, take a moment to share your thoughts. These stories aren't just about heroics. They're about the weight people carry long after the mission ends. And if you believe the truth behind the legends matters, stick with Military Comebacks, where the stories behind the shadows finally get a voice.